the story about what goes on in Wisconsin politics having to do with Republicans gets weirder and weirder every time you and I talk.
And the truth is stranger than fiction at times. And this is just another instance where we have out of touch, self-serving politician like Ron Johnson. He is in it for himself. He is in it for his wealthy donors. He continues to leave people behind. And I'll tell you, here in Wisconsin, he looked every single voter in the eye. He said that our vote did not matter. And that's because Ron Johnson serves himself. He gave his top two donor families, his biggest donor families, $200 million in tax breaks. But at the same time, he wants to send our seniors back to work. He's putting Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block. You know, he voted against Medicare negotiating fair drug prices because it may cost his big pharma donors a little more money. This is unacceptable. This is disqualifying, but he's shown us time and time who he is. And that's why we need help to defeat him, because all of these interests are lined up to try to keep him in office. I need you all to join us at MandelaBarnes.com to help out.
Let me ask you this, though. When you are talking to people in Wisconsin, you and I talked about this a week ago or something. There's small issues that are big for people, and then there's big issues about democracy and the future of it. We heard from the president last night about some of those big issues. Does that stuff resonate with the people you're talking with?
Of course, Social Security. I mean, look, we're talking about the benefits that people have worked their entire lives for. You know, my granddad moved to Milwaukee after World War II. He was able to get a job as a steel worker. He was there for 30 plus years, was able to retire comfortably. That laid a foundation for my dad to follow in his footsteps. And there are so many others like them across this state and across this country who have worked hard their entire lives. And the idea that they could be sold out by a politician like Ron Johnson, who wants to call Social Security a Ponzi scheme, it is appalling. Every person deserves to be able to work hard and retire with dignity. And Ron Johnson wants to take that dignity away from people.
Let's talk about that for a second. I want to just play what Ron Johnson said on a radio show in early August about Social Security. And then I want to talk about the degree to which what he said is a bit misleading. Let's listen.
Social Security and Medicare, if you qualify for the entitlement, you just get it no matter what the cost. And our problem in this country is that more than 70% of our federal budget, of our federal spending, is all mandatory spending. It's on automatic pilot. You just don't do proper oversight. You don't get in there and fix the programs going bankrupt. It's just on automatic pilot. What we ought to be doing is we ought to turn everything into discretionary spending, so it's all evaluated so that we can fix problems or fix programs that are broken, that are going to be going bankrupt.
So on one hand, there's an argument in there about how you should or shouldn't fix Medicare and Social Security, but it belies what really people are thinking, right? We've got this big budget deficit, but government's too big, there's too much spending. Our deficit is not from Social Security, it's not from Medicare, it's from wars and things like that.
Yeah. And the thing is, Ron Johnson will use any attempt to mislead. He is trying to further in there. But this is a moment where we should be making sure that the wealthiest among us pay their fair share. But these are the people that contribute to Ron Johnson's campaign. These are the folks who have propped him up for the last 12 years. He will rather sell out the people that he represents than to do the right thing. Again, he's against Medicare negotiating fair drug prices. So that's not a budgetary item. This is not something that he can use that same logic with. And he voted against capping the cost of insulin. Ron Johnson doubled his wealth in the U.S. Senate and does not care if your life gets harder. That is what we're dealing with. That is the unfair treatment that people across the state of Wisconsin, across the entire country for that matter, are getting. That's why it is so important that we replace him with somebody who truly understands what it's like as a working class American. You know, look at veterans in burn pits. He played politics with veterans who were victims of burn pits. And, you know, ultimately he voted for it. But that's not even, it shouldn't even have to be under consideration. And he will continue to go down this road if he is reelected. But I'm telling you, we are here to continue to fight to rebuild the middle class, to bring opportunity across Wisconsin, the same opportunity, good paying jobs that my parents had, those union jobs that gave me a foundation. I believe that every child growing up in this country deserves at least the same opportunity that I had.